Opinions with Iran, Trump needs to put up or shut up. Editors note the opinions in this article are the authors, as published by our content partner, and do not necessarily represent the views of MSN or Microsoft. President Trump is an inveterate liar, but some of his lies are more significant than others. The lies he told, in fact, accounts from both ends agree that, as per standard practice, the Pentagon had provided collateral damage estimates early on Thursday along with its options for striking Iran. Moreover, as these lies may seem small, but they are actually quite telling, because they go to the issue of motivation. Trump would like in short, Trump refused to pull the trigger not because he got new information but because he got cold feet. This is part of a pattern with Trump, who roars like a tiger but usually acts like a scaredy cat. This is the same the examples are endless, and they all point to an undeniable conclusion: Trump is a Twitter tiger whose threats cannot be taken seriously. This is a dangerous position for a president. National security, don't get me wrong. I am not but if Trump has no intention of attacking Iran, he should not pursue a policy of exiting the nuclear deal and imposing punishing sanctions, pushing Iran into a corner and making conflict much more likely. He should not keep. Trump needs to either put up or shut up. But he won't do it. Read more.
Raindrop, drop top smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park pot.